Hello everyone, my name is Jen and welcome to the Book Review. Hi everyone, and welcome to my New Year Booktuber tag. So this was a tag that was created by Jessen from Jessen Reads Romance, and I really loved doing this tag last year because it kind of combines some of my goal videos I used to make. I don't really try to come up with as many goals anymore, so this tag is really nice because it kind of reflects on, how things went the year before and what I'm looking at for the next year. So there's just a few questions for this. There's only 8 of them. So we're just gonna walk through these together and see what I have to say. So the first question is, what are you most excited for in 2024? So I don't have as many big plans out in front of me as I have in the previous years, but there's a few events. So the Outlander Readathon, I'm really looking to. That's going to come up again soon. The Outlander Read-Along, which is starting in January. I'm very much looking forward to doing that and seeing how many people are involved and how it all plays out and everything. I'm very excited about that. I'm also excited to do another fanfiction readathon. I don't have a date picked for that yet, so know that. But I have loved the last 2 that we've done, and it's brought so many new people into different fanfictions, and yeah, I just love doing it so much. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then as for an event, I'm definitely not signed up for any events. I really don't have the finances to be flying to Texas or to the California ones or Vegas ones. It's still going to be a few years before that's something I can afford in the budget. I got to get taxes under control before I can worry about that. And school loans have come back in and all that good stuff. But there is one last year of the North Iowa Book Bash. I'm so sad that I only just discovered it this year, and there's only one more year they're doing it. It's going to be the last one. But the North Iowa Book Bash is doable for me. This year it's on May 4th, I believe, and it's at a casino right across the Iowa border from Minnesota into Iowa, and it's a drivable distance for me. I went with my best friend this year, and it was really great. Pam Godwin was there, Lena Hendricks was there, Jennifer Hartman and Julie Ann was there. And this year, I think SJ Tilley, I met SJ Tilley there before she blew up this year. So there's a lot of great small authors who go to that. There's even some, who else was going to that? There's someone else who's going to that I'm really excited for this year. And that event only costs $5. A ticket is $5 to get into that signing, which is amazing. And so really the only cost is gas and a hotel, which are both cheaper than a plane ride, you know what I mean? So we'll see if Shauna is able to go with me again. Or what, but I'm very excited for it for sure. Do you have a Goodreads goal for the next year, and what is the number? So I always set my goal, I have for the last 4 years, to 365, which is a romance a day keeps reality away. That's what I always say. And my stretch goal is usually 500. That's very doable for me. But 365 is what I set the goal for, because I'm not really about pushing for numbers. That's just what naturally happens for me, as I usually am able to read about that many. So that's what my goal is going to be, is 365. 3 5-star predictions that you have. Well, for me, I more have some 6-star predictions, right? Because I very easily hand out 5 stars, as we have established. So for me, this is 3 6-star predictions that I have. So I am predicting that A House of Flame and Shadow will be a 6-star read. I'm also predicting that The Wickedness of a Highlander by Lisa Braden will be a 6-star read. I am so looking forward to a new book from her. Just so excited. And God of War by Rena Kent. I think that will be a 6-star book. I'm really looking forward to Eli and Ava and finishing out the Legacy of the Gods series. What genre or subgenre or trope do you want to read more of? So I realized when I was looking at my numbers, which I will have a video that is all my stats and everything, and all my faves and that stuff. And I realized that I did not read as much historical as I wanted to. That was a goal of 2023, to read more. And I did okay, but the majority of the historicals I got through were like when there was the historical romance readathon that we had, is when I really pushed through a whole bunch. But otherwise, I've been reading so many less historicals than I used to. And I say that the past couple of years I've wanted to do that and I haven't done it. So this year, you'll see in a minute, I have a specific goal for how I want to read more historicals, but I want to read more of those. I recently did a video that was the last 10 sci-fi that I read. That's a series I've been doing, is the last 10 of like different subgenres and stuff. And I realized that I have not read a lot of new sci-fi romances, because when I made that list, they were all authors I had read before, or they were repeats. I was doing a lot of rereads of books, and I had to go back a long ways to get 10 new to me books for that. So I want to read some more sci-fi and alien romance and historical in 2024. What trope do you think will be most popular in 2023? So last year I said cowboy and small town, I believe. And there was another one I said too, but I can't remember. And I do think that that really happened. There's a lot of cowboy and small town romance. Now, small town is something that always sticks around, right? Because so many tropes and stuff fit into small town. That's always going to be there. But I'm still going to say small town romance will be popular. I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon, just because there's so many different varieties and ways you can do small town. You know, like the cowboy usually fits into small town, right? And fake dating fits so easily into small town. And, you know, enemies to lovers too. So it all fits into it very well. But I also think there will be a more resurgence of like the billionaire romance. I think that there's, again, any of these, they always still exist. Like they're always there. But I think billionaire is going to get another boost again, especially with like Anna Huang's series being so popular, Katerina Mara's series been so popular. I think we're going to see even more of those. And billionaire romance always comes around and around, you know. And then I still think hockey romance is going to be big. There've just been like Emily Rath has been so big. S.J. Silvis has a series. There's the Rebecca Sharshank, I can't say her name. The Becca Mack, like all of those are hockey. And that is going to lead to even more of those coming. I hope there's going to continue to be even more fantasy. I have seen fantasy really grow in the past couple of years, and I hope that continues to happen. All right, name 3 bookish goals for 2024. So this was actually pretty hard because I'm trying to loosen a lot of my goals. So in my other, I am going to be making a video about my 12 recs for 12 friends, because that is something I'm going to try to do again. I did read 8 out of 12 for this year, and there was 4 that I didn't end up getting to or I DNF'd. But I have a really good lineup, so I want to do a dedicated video to that as like a 2024 TBR. So that's like a side goal thing. But of course, one of my goals is the Outlander read along. I don't know that we will get through all 9 books in the year, because as I shared in that video, I'm not going to be doing 1 a month with that. We're going to spread it out. If it's a busier time of year for me, we'll take our time. I want this to be a feasible thing for everyone, but I'm very excited to see who's involved, to see who stays involved the whole time. That was something with SJM along, is that, you know, once people fall behind, they are kind of screwed. And I'm hoping by having a more relaxed schedule for this, that we won't lose people in that way. So then read more for myself. This is something that I know is difficult. And I mean, it's not that I never read for myself. Like I just randomly pick up some books now and then, but there's still always going to be that pressure of reading what you guys want me to read, of reading what I myself see on Instagram or YouTube, what I see showing up in places. There's always going to be that pressure. But I want to discover some new to me authors on my own this year. I want to, you know, at least once a month, like dive into that. I want to continue to dive into fan fictions just for me, that no one's telling me to do. Because, you know, I want to come up with suggestions and recommendations to you guys that were nobody else's idea but mine. You know what I mean? I love that you guys vet a lot of the books for me. You tell me what your favorites are, but I also want to do that for you. You know, like that's what my channel has always been, is giving you the cream of the crop of stuff. So I want to dedicate some time to, like, I want to have a space ideally in my planner that doesn't have like a book on it, but it just says like, read one of these, you know? And maybe I'll do, because I want to do another version of the trope challenge as well, which I did really well with that this year. There was 36 different tropes that I had in a book, or in my planner, and I tried to read a book in each of those. So I want to do something kind of like that, but I don't want to necessarily force myself into a trope, so I don't know. But I want to like find one of those and then just go deep diving myself, either stuff that I own it, maybe it's a historical I own and want to do it, or I just go digging on Amazon or Goodreads to find a book that is like what I want, that I've never heard anyone talk about, and turn some people onto it. You know, I want to do that. So I guess the way to say this, like, I want to read more for myself and do some like exploring. I want to go exploring out there. There are millions of romances. There are millions of authors. There's just, it's endless. And I want to go find some of them on my own to share with you guys. And then, as I had mentioned, I do have a goal for historicals though. I want to try to read 3 to 5 a month, which I think is doable. But also, if I read that on the extreme end, if I do 5 a month, that's 60. And if it's on the lower months, that's like 36, which is still, that's better. That's what I want to be sitting at. Because again, I own so many historicals and there's new ones all the time. In that regard of like finding new to me authors, because I've talked about, I feel like historical is losing so much ground lately. Like we're just not getting as much there. There are so many indie historical romance authors that I want to find and share with you. Like there are some people shared with me, like Scarlett Scott. I did not discover her by any means, but check her out. Like Stevie Sparks. I found her from one of the Facebook groups that I'm in. She's new to me. Tanya, forgot her last name. There's an author named Tanya that she's a brand new debut historical author writing like Westerns, and I love it. So I want to find some of those authors to bring to you guys, and I want them to be historicals as well. So that might overlap with some of the reading for myself. But yeah, as well as reading, you know, the ones I want to. Name 3 personal goals you have for 2024. So this one's always really hard. So I do have some 2 of them are very actionable ones, and one of them is just a generalized one. So a generalized one for me is I want to stay healthy. So I've had to change around my medications a lot lately because of insurance issues and stuff. I'm going to be on a new insurance starting in January and hopefully be able to get back on some of my weight management things, because I have put some weight back on, and I'm not hating on myself. Weight will fluctuate, it will happen, but it is also winter, and winter is the time I do the worst for like comfort eating and everything. And last winter, with the help of my weight management, I was able to like really stay healthy over the holidays. So I want to work with my doctor and like get back on that again and continue to find ways to like stay on track, because that's very important to me. I don't want to lose the progress that I made. Yeah. So that's very important to me. Next, I want to purge my closets. So I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. A good amount of it is covered in books, but a space that just has like a lot of junk in it is my closets. In my bedroom, I have one of those huge like sliding closets. There's on very top of it, I've used some of it for storage, right? And then all my clothes. Now, I have gotten rid of some stuff here and there, but I really need to just go through every article of clothing. There's stuff that's way too big for me now. There is still some stuff too that's like too small, and I like kept it around waiting for it. But when I lost weight, like you don't always lose weight the way you want to lose it. Like you lose it in different places. So there's some stuff that's just never going to fit anymore because my body has changed. So I'm never going to fit that anymore, and we just got to let it go. But yeah, I want to purge my closets there. There's also like old purses. So I want to donate a lot of that stuff, get it cleaned out. Because ideally I want to move some of my like books that I'm going to keep, but I don't need to display, right? Because I do have books that are going to be, you know, like my hand-me-down books someday. Some of my like children's books and classics and stuff like that. And I want to like store them in there so that I open up more space on my shelves that are out here. So yeah, I want to do that. And yeah, and then there's also my like hallway closet, which is where like my games and like there's just a lot of junk that gets shoved in that one. So that's a goal for the year. So maybe for spring cleaning time, maybe I assign myself one area of my house a month to like purge stuff. But my home just feels very crowded because it's small and I've lived here for 8 years. And so, you know, you just accumulate stuff over that time. And then I look around and I'm like, I just feel very crowded by my space. So I do hope to upgrade some shelves this year too. Sorry, this is a side tangent from my personal, because some of these shelves are not as sturdy and I want to replace them with shelves that look like the new one I bought earlier this year. So hopefully as I have the money, I'll slowly trade those out. Because yeah, I want to like upgrade that too, because I feel like it will make my house look lighter when I don't have these dark brokenish shelves hanging out. So anyway, that's some like, you know, house cleaning stuff that I want to do. And then the last thing, I want to pay off one of my credit cards, as a lot of us have credit card debt, but there's one that would be doable to pay off this year, as well as I have a dental loan, all the fun stuff from when I had, some of you might remember this, I have a crown and a, what's it called? I have an implant that I got done, as well as when I had my wisdom teeth out and everything, and that cost like $11,000. So we're still paying that off. I'm still paying that off, but I'm really close to it. So those are some debt relieving things that I want to work on. Still super nervous about taxes because I'm no way close to having my like tax bill ready to be paid. I'm really nervous about it, but it'll work out. It'll be okay. And with the support I've gotten from you guys, I paid off my car this year, which was great. And I've paid down on some other things, but it's always there, right? So anyway, enough of that. And then finally, what do you want to leave behind in 2023? Now, of course, it's been talked about, and I want to say it again. I want to leave, for me personally, I'm not putting this on anyone else. I want to find books that are not spice for spice sakes. So if there's some authors that I love that's all I feel like they're writing anymore, I want to just kind of back away from some of those, because I want to get back to more romantic books. They can still be hot. I just did a video with my favorite spicy books of the year that were also like emotional to me. And this isn't to shame anyone. This is a shame-free zone. I still might want to read some erotic stuff now and then, you know, we like it. But I want like spice for spice's sake to be kind of left behind. I think we've had that phase, the phase that TikTok gave us. And I want to have authors really focus on their writing skill and not how raunchy they can write a sex scene, how many good girls they can throw into a sex scene. I want more substance in my stories. I don't lie about it. I also want to leave more anxiety in 2023. So I talk with my patrons in my vlogs. I'm very honest in there about my mental health and stress, and I am on some medications now that have been really helping me. I also say like our winter so far is so mild. I also think part of my mood is helped by the fact that there's like no snow on the ground and it's almost Christmas. Like it is the darkest day of the year this week and I'm feeling really good. And so I know some of that is the medication and I'm really glad. And you know, I've been so stressed about money and stressed about my future and like, you know, most of my savings is gone now from doing this, but I'm doing what I want to do, right? And this is a job that hopefully I'll be able to do for a long time. Like people are never going to stop wanting to read and I still want to be suggesting books. So it's like, we'll get there. You know, it's scary because when things go wrong or, you know, Patreon decides to shut you down for a few hours, it feels like you might like lose everything, you know, but that's not the case. That won't happen. It'll be all right. And so I want to let go of some of that anxiety because sometimes I'll be sitting on my couch trying to read, you know, trying to enjoy myself. And I'll just feel this like tightening happen where I'm just like, there's this you're worried about and you're worried about this and you're worried about this. And I just don't want to do that for now. And then I also want to leave out needing to be friends with everyone. Now, I'm not thinking of a specific person or a specific anything. I'm not even just talking about internet-wise. There's people in real life too, where I'm always someone who wants to be kind and respectful of everyone. I believe that every person as a human has a certain level of respect that you are owed. Once you prove yes or no from that, I mean, I don't owe you continued respect forever if you haven't earned it, but there's a baseline respect that everyone gets from me. And if you prove, to not meet that or to, be greater than that, then I adjust things. But, there were some tough things that I went through this year where I felt kind of abandoned and betrayed by people I thought were friends. And that really hurt so badly. But I feel really good with who I trust and who I've connected with over the years and where I'm at right now. And that is what I want to focus on. And the relationships that, they aren't growing anymore and they aren't happening, I want to just let them go, because that leaves more room for me to make new connections now, because I always want to make more friends. I've connected so deeply with some of you through books, some who are my patrons and some who are just friends that I talk to all the time. So, I want to let go of needing to be friends with everyone so that I can be more genuine friends with the people that I have. So there we go. So anyway, that was the New Year Booktuber tag. So please check out Jessen's original video if you want to check that out. But I tag you if you want this. If you have a booktube channel, go ahead and give this one a go. Thank you so much for watching, friends, and I'll see you next time. Bye.